Endless Universe Podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Endless Universe Podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Endless Universe Podcast.
Hello and welcome to Emma's podcast. In today's podcast, I want to continue the conversation about keeping it positive, changing our minds to elevate ourselves. Easy said and done, I know, but it is feasible actually. We have so much resources at the tip of our fingers, that's the case to say, that we can utilize those resources quicker compared to the quote unquote old days. Yes, I know I like to talk about the old days. It's like, oh my God, when I was younger in that previous century, blah, blah, blah. But think about it. Think about if you want to learn something, and it can be technical, it can be spiritual. You've got so much available at your tip of your fingers. And that's one of the aspects of how can I improve my life? How can I learn, even though I've learned patterns as a kid, to modify them because you become the observer of your life. It's like, well, that was Kevin Trudeau said, and so true. What pains or level of pains are you in? What is the thing you are not accepting anymore and you want to change? Because it has most of the time to be painful in order to make the right changes. And you have to ask yourself, what are the pains? What are the why that want for that intentions you want to set up? So, for example, you are looking at improving your what are we going to use? Your career. You want to change job. Maybe it's becoming too painful to be where you are because you're frustrated because things are not moving or moving at the pace you wanted, or you're interested to do something new. But where you are, you're not feeling appreciated. You feel that you are overachieve everything. And what you want is to be able to actually change everything you have learned and continue to move up into your career. And you're thinking about it. And maybe there is some modification that happens because, business and infrastructure and change very quickly, especially more than it was in the old days. And you got a new manager and you're not adapting to that manager, or the way they do things are not what you want to continue to do because you're not interested anymore. You want change. You want something that challenge your mind, that really want to elevate where you are, continue to elevate yourself, learn. You have a good position, but it's becoming painful. You're not driven by it anymore. You are dreading to go to work. Those are the time where you said, okay, what are the pain points here? What are my pain points? Then you start to list the pain point and said, well, I don't like where I'm at anymore. I want to change job because I'm not fulfilled. Okay. What are you looking for? And those are opportunities that maybe you're going to completely change field. And I've seen it in people, and I was listening to somebody as well talking about, oh yes, I was a scientist and now I'm baking cookies and I'm enjoying it and I'm having fun and I'm a creative and I'm just elated to do that every day. And people will be like, what? And I was like, yeah, you went from learning and spending a lot of hours as a scientist, and now you're in a better place because you're creating something you love to do. What would you love to do? Sometimes you don't know. I have no idea because I'm a sponge. I had no idea. Not I have. I had up to the not to this point, but years ago, I had no idea what I wanted to do. So I learned a lot of things. I was behind the computers. I work with and learned a lot from great programmers, from great consultant, sharing what they were doing, sharing their thoughts. We had amazing conversations. And I continue to learn. I learned from everybody. And I started to learn on how companies are working. And my mind said, okay, I'm going to learn. And a lot of people don't do that. Actually, you should. But a lot of people don't. And I learned from working from the retail world to the biomedicals to the financial to the gas and oil. I learned a lot. And all of that knowledge taught me a lot of my skill set and how company works. Understanding how company works, how everything fits together, from the finance to the marketing, the sales, the operation, the manufacturing, the engineering, from the beginning till end, from the conception to the delivery of a product or services on the market. Very interesting to see how they're doing it, the R&D and the development, the improvement of also the products or services, everything in between. And I loved it. It was fun actually to do it and learn from it. That was the fun of it. But when you feel you're being in that little box and unhappy, you can ask yourself, what do I really love to do? And you maybe it's going to take time to sit down and figure it out. Or maybe you know, but you feel a little scared to reveal. Maybe you like to write stories, books. Maybe you're interested to do something, singing or something like that. Or fashion designer or jewelry designer or something along those lines. Or maybe you want to start to sell stuff on TikTok like a lot of other people are doing. Why not? You make your income. This is fun. You're connecting with people. So think about those pain points. Think about what you want to do and just start to think about it and dream about it and make statement that will get you there. Make a plan. Maybe you need to learn more about how to get a business started. Maybe you need to learn more about and educate yourself, like this young lady I was watching and making. To be honest with you, those cookies and those muffins and everything else look so yummy. I would have been like, okay, make it a dozen for me. But she learned and she loved to do that. She had a passion for it. When you move from a painful situation, painful point to something you really love to do, it's not a job anymore. It's a passion and you get paid for it. Yes, it's gonna be a little hard at the beginning because you're gonna be tested at some level, but when you think overall, the what do you call it, the benefits of it, the journey to grow with it is fantastic. So why not looking at your pain point and decide, okay, I don't want to rent anymore, or I want to move. I don't like where I'm at anymore. I don't like where I live anymore. Well, make a plan to look at other home, or if you want from renting to living into an apartment to a house itself. Look at all of this and see what are the pain points. Because generally, and that's so true. What I'm saying, it's nothing new under the sun. When you got enough, this is where you move. This is where you make your stand. I talked last year and I share stories about boundaries. And I had people who run those boundaries like they were no tomorrow. It's not being a carpet, okay? That had nothing to do with pleasing people. But when you expect people to be respectful of your boundaries, and somehow over the rainbow, they don't care. And you're like, that's enough. I'm not interested. and you put those boundaries, and people think you become mean. And it's like, no, I'm setting up those boundaries. Why? Because you have crossed them quite often uninvited. So I'm setting them up. Something that Kevin was saying as well, and I don't know, I think he was getting out of context at some level because I did not agree with all of this, but I'm going to give the benefits of the doubt and how I heard it. That's probably why. But for me, when somebody is too toxic, I'm not hanging around toxic people because I'm not that interested about toxic people. When your behavior is changing, and I've seen it, I've seen people behavior changing, and you don't even know why out of the blue they are changing, then you need to realize this is on them, not on you. Number one. Two, you set up your boundaries. Three, I have a policy that I started actually a while ago, especially because I passing information for North Carolina on my Facebook. So I've seen haters, I've seen people making fake accusation or whatever the deal is, and I'm not taking it. Actually, I block people. I don't answer. I don't enter in fight because I don't care. It's your monkey. It's your circus. You like to spew venom. I see it. I know what you're doing, and I'm not interested to enter into your circus. Like I said, monkey, circus, yours. But when people are starting to behave in a way that it becomes disrespectful or try to create fight for unknown reason, I don't enter into that game. And whatever you said, I will read through the lines. So if you're spewing venom for the intent of starting a chaos, a fight, an argument, I'm not that interested. I rather block you and walk away because I don't have time for this time of this kind of childish attitude. One of the things you have to realize is, do I want people like that who behaving or whose behavior, not behaving, whose behavior is hot and cold? No. My older sister used to do that, hot and cold. You never know which mood she was, actually. And then sometimes he will just switch and flip like, quickly. I mean, it's like, not happening here. If you're that unstable, like an atom, I let you fly somewhere else and you can go somewhere else and explode somewhere else. But I have no interest. When you come into my space, then you better to talk to me without the attitude and without the drama. I don't have time for it. Seriously, I could care less about your drama. Seriously, I pass beyond that. Always did. I like my little world of fairy life, and life is beautiful and wonderful. But do not try to rain on the parade, because when you have that gift to see and read through people and see behaviors, you see the intents right away, and you can, even under the coveted attitude or spewing venom, you can see it very quickly. There was somebody actually that I course corrected and I blocked after that, but I did not delete it, her comment on Facebook, who tried to call me and shame on me to make money of TikTok for those videos, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. So one, your ignorance is a bliss for you. Two, I'm going to course correct you right here, right now, because those creators actually are making the money. The people who create the videos on TikTok and are the creators are making the money, and they actually, especially for Carolinas, they are reinvesting this into their communities. So that was number one. It was hilarious. Number two is information. How many people see across right now what's going on in the Carolinas? I will say, if you raise your hand and said I don't, yeah, you don't. Why? Because it's not part of the news right now, and the news is more excited about something else. Now, information and reality between both is huge, because some people are still assuming that there is some furnished apartment and people can go in, blah, 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 which is like, no, there is none. the cabins that are being built, those little teeny homes, they are being built and delivered right now for those people. This is what they got. So there is a reality that is different that some people are creating. So I did for that lady. She ended up to be blocked because I don't have time for people who rant and attack others. But it's funny because I do check their profile, and those individuals, some are boots, like fake profile, and some don't even have anything posted on their Facebook, which to me is hilarious because if you're from the region, the Appalachian, you should be posting things instead and then try to shame other people who are passing information and awareness, because that's what it's all about. It's passing the awareness and the information. But it's always interesting to see how unaware of how things works is so evident when you're used to it. So generally I don't step much in. I just let people be, but I could not help myself because that was my little teasing thing, and just I'm gonna slap back at anyone's, especially for that lady, on her comment that was erroneous. And it's funny because I didn't heard anything from anyone else afterwards. But you have to think about what triggers you and cut it out. I personally cut it out. I don't hang around people I am not interested of. If the people are not like-minded than I am, I'm not wasting my time. Meaning, you're not superior to me, you're not inferior to me. I'm not interested to deal with people who are acting weird. And I say weird is aggressive one day and good the other day. You never know. And if your intention is not quote unquote pure, then it's time for you to move along. Again, not impressed by people that don't want to be what I call the bottom feeders, meaning if you want to swim in your negativity, go for it. I leave you on your own. But I am not interested to be part of it. I have something else better in life that requires me more attention because I'm interested to continue to elevate myself or be where I'm at, actually, where I'm very happy, elevated, and fun, than swimming in negativity. Negativity has never attracted me, and I'm not attracted to it at all. And I am not a victim because everything I have done, I assume it and I'm accountable for it. So when you become accountable for your actions, this is where things are changing because it is you, the master of your own life, who decide where you go, not letting anyone else rain on my parade. So this was our forecast for today. Forecast. Yeah, it's a forecast and a podcast for today. We'll talk to you later. Bye now.
Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe Podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe Podcast. Podcast.